What's good, people? How are we doing? Welcome back to Ain Sports for another live show, pole position pod. We're gonna review the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're gonna do the review, and trust me, it's not gonna be a good one. It is not going to be a good one. Joining me, Augustia, once again, bro. Welcome back. No King or Liam for this week. They'll be back after the break, or if we have a podcast, or if we have anything to discuss during the 4-week break that we have. And I'm glad the 4-week break is finally here because I'm fucking sick of Ferrari, man. Genuinely. There's no better time to have a fucking break than this time. Genuinely, no better time. Big up to you, bro. Welcome back to the channel.
You asked how I'm doing. I'm not doing. Like, genuinely, Ekevin, there is nothing to be doing at the moment. You're right. You've been the Ferrari fan your whole life. You've been one of Charles Leclerc's biggest supporters. I can't imagine how heartbroken you are. Not even heartbroken. I just think angry, devastated, finished. I mean, it's just unimaginable. Charles Leclerc, yesterday, Ekevin, or this morning, not even 12 hours ago. Yeah, well, we were on stream at 5 a.m. our time. It's 10 p.m. So basically 15 hours ago, we were at the highs of highs. We were like, Charlie Leclerc, the best qualifier on the grid. Somehow he has overtaken the rocket ship that even Elon Musk could dare to dream in the McLaren car, and he has somehow propelled it all the way to pole. Only he could do it, the man with 27 poles in his Formula One career. But just as he has done throughout his career, those 27 poles, only one in every 3 or 4 of them end up being a race win. He has 8 victories to 27 poles. And some people, like one of our panelists on the show, King, would be like, oh, that's because Charles Leclerc is just an overrated driver, the 4th best speaking French driver in the grid. I think that's hearsay. I think that's blasphemy. The truth is, this race is the personification of why Charles Leclerc is not a world champion. It's not because he's a bottler. Of course, every driver has its flaws, but Charles Leclerc, on pure pace as a qualifier, is the best on the grid. What you saw for the first half of the race, if you give him a car within 2 to 3 tenths of anybody but Max Verstappen, I would back him over them. But look what Ferrari did. Somehow he was on pole position. And in that first stint on those medium tires, he was dominating. He was 3, 4, 5 seconds above Oscar and Norris and Lando Norris. What happens? Ferrari pit him. He comes out on the hard tires. He loses all his pace. And doesn't just lose all his pace. There are issues with the car. Ferrari have to save fuel as well. There was a chassis issue. They disagreed with what Leclerc said before and during the race. And then not only does he lose out to his rival Oscar Piastri in the race, he loses out by a second a lap. Then he loses to Lando Norris. Then he loses to George Russell as well, and he's outside the podium. So to me, Ekevin, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare beyond Elm Street, and I don't know, man. I feel heartbroken. I'm sure we'll talk about the rest of the race, but right now the floor is yours because, man, I know you have a lot to get off.
First and foremost, people, you heard that already. We were up at 5 a.m. doing the stream. If you haven't checked that one out, I suggest you do so, even if the race is over. You might as well go check the preview. Check the preview, hit the like button. Hit the like button over here as well. We're 376 subs on the road to 1,000. You guys have the drill. Keep supporting the channel. Keep liking. Let's get to 20 likes as well. Augustia, when he does have his channel, I'll make sure I'll plug it in the title, and I'm sure he's going to come up with his own channel very, very soon. I know he has a channel, but obviously he's kind of taking a break from YouTube in terms of his own thing right now. But once he gets this, once he brings that back up, I'll definitely plug that. But bro, I can't lie, you said everything spot on there. Genuinely, at the highest, this is choke job at the highest order. Genuinely, this is like, bro, I can't lie, right? This is worse than AC Milan's 3-3 bottle job in the Champions League final. Seriously. Yeah. Seriously. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. This is one of the worst bottle jobs I've ever seen in sport history. Absolute choke job at the highest fucking order from Ferrari and from not Charles Leclerc. Excuse me. I'm not even putting the blame on Charles Leclerc today. Let's not even do this today, yeah? Anyone in the chat wants to blame Charles Leclerc? Sorry, get a grip. Get a fucking grip. First and foremost, he was not at fault for any of his effort today. He, for me, is driver of the day. For me. He, for me, is my driver of the day. And you can call me delusional all you like. Yeah? He had no right to be given the hard tires for the second consecutive time in his pit stop. 2 pit stops he's made, right? First one was a medium, built a gap. He built a gap from him and Oscar Piastri. It was up to 3 seconds, guys. It was up to 3 seconds. Let's not even like look at let's not even look at the pace of the car. Let's look at let's look at the tires. Let's look at the control of the tires. Right, 3 seconds at the start of the race. You're meant to tell me that the second pit stop. Okay, the second pit stop was good. I'm not even gonna shit on Ferrari for that second pit stop. I said the hard tires is the second tires they need to move on to. That's fair. But then you make a second pit stop, right? You make a second pit stop, and you put on the hard tires yet again. The hard tires yet again was not going to help Ferrari, my friends. Was not going to help Ferrari. You're putting them on the hard tires for the second consecutive pit stop. It should have gone back to the medium tires where the pace was there. The pace was there. He's built a gap between him and the best driver of the season. 3 seconds. He was building a bigger gap. And then guess what Ferrari did? They fucking put him on the put him on the hard tires for the second consecutive time. And that's what threw him away the race. Do you not communicate with your fucking drivers? Do you not communicate with your drivers? Do you not talk to your drivers on a weekly basis and ask them what's best for the car? What is this communication from team to driver? What is this communication? Charles Leclerc on team radio. I don't know what the quotes were after the race, right? I'm sorry. I don't know what the quotes were after the race. But you mentioned that he did he did an interview after the race. And I can't wait to listen to that, by the way. I will not listen to it on air because I don't want to get copyright. Right? I don't want to get copyright. So I'm not going to listen to it on air. We will listen to it sometime else, right? First and foremost, yeah. Go and look at when he said, you should have listened to me. We discussed this before the race. We will discuss it before every single time. I was saying, let's discuss this before. I forgot what he said. Right? Anyone has a quote, please put it in the chat. Please, I beg, put it in the chat. All right? Because I can't be fucked to go bring up the quote right now. But Ferrari, man. All right. This is so incredibly frustrating. We've lost all competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now it's just an undrivable. Not just undrivable. It's a miracle if we finish on the podium. Bro, he went from first to fourth. It's not even... Bro, if he came second, I'd have been less angry. I'd have been like, you know what? Okay, fine. Maybe second's respectable. But to go from 1 to 4 to fourth place, finish behind George Russell, who didn't have more pace than you this weekend, is an absolute criminal. It's absolutely criminal, man. I'm sorry, but my head is hot. I don't really give a flying fuck about Ferrari this season, yeah. But this was the one race I thought Ferrari would finally win this year. Finally. I can tell all my mates, I can tell everyone that I told you so, that Charles Leclerc is Ferrari's best driver. And it's not even close. I'm sorry, but Lewis this season has been absolutely awful. Yet again, for the second consecutive race, man. You finished... I even told you on yesterday's show, and you agree with me, bro. He wouldn't even crack the top 10. He didn't even crack the top 10. There you go. There you go, my friends. That is Lewis Hamilton's performance in the last 2 races right there. Last race, he got lucky with that rainfall. Because if it wasn't for the rainfall, he ain't climbing up places. Sorry. He ain't climbing up no places last week. This week, he climbed up to 1 place. He climbed up at least 1 place. And he got, a penalty? He got a penalty? Did he get a punishment? I swear Max got a punishment, didn't he?
They are reviewing it, and we will find out what happens after. That's like in an hour, I think.
Oh well, we'll go live and find out.
But I can confirm that Hamilton will not face any punishment. He did not do any wrongdoing.
Cool, that's fine. As for Charles Leclerc, if it wasn't for Ferrari's incompetence, the penalty doesn't happen, the pace doesn't decline. Ferrari wins that race quite comfortably, in my opinion. I think Ferrari builds on more pace towards the end. McLaren would probably say, "Do you know what? We're gonna cool our tires." And Ferrari ends up winning the race. Bro, you put the mediums back on, it's a different story. It's a different story. I've seen this time and time again. race after race after race. It happened in 2022, and it's happening yet again in 2025. There's nothing has changed. I told King, King was on the show. I told him it was a clown show. I made that rant, and every single word I've been said, I've been proven right. I have been proven right from that show, and I will stand by what I said. I will die on that hill. Ferrari are a fucking clown show, and I've been saying this, and I will continue to say it. It's not a clown show. It is, my friends. I'm sorry, if you're watching the stream, bro. I'm sorry, man, King. You got this all wrong, bro. You've got this all wrong. Big up to you, but you've got this all wrong. And I'm not throwing any shade at you. I really am not. I promise you. Yeah. But I just want to say, that this clown show will not continue until Ferrari gets itself better engineers. I've been saying this, bro. The engineers are the biggest issue, the single biggest issue. I've held the drivers accountable for when they've had bad races. I always will. But this week, it was not the drivers. This week, it was Hamilton's fault. This week, it was not Charles Leclerc's fault. I can go 50-50 on this one. It isn't Charles Leclerc's fault. It never is. It never was, sorry. It never was today. Never was one bit. He did all he could to finish on the podium. All right, pole. He got pole. He got pole in qualifying. He is one of the best qualifiers you'll ever see. And I agree with you, bro. He is. He's got 28 qualifiers. He won 28 qualifiers for a reason. He's won 28 qualifiers for an absolute fucking reason. And this race just tells you everything you need to know about the team's incompetence of not listening to their drivers, of not following the drivers' instructions. They're telling you the biggest issue. They have to communicate with the driver to tell them that I want this tire, I want that tire, I want this strategy, I want this strategy. You communicate to your team. Yeah, you communicate to your drivers what changes you want to make. They tell you the changes they want to make. You don't put you don't put the hard tires back on when it's clearly taking away so much pace from you. It's taking away so much pace. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you putting the wrong tires back on time and time and time and time again. How many more times is this going to continue, man? Ferrari, you're one of the biggest institutions in the fucking world. You have one of the fastest cars out there. Even not even F1. You have one of the fastest cars. You're one of the biggest car institutions out there. I'm sorry, how do you throw this away? How are you so incompetent? How can you not build an engine or a car that's good enough to win every single year or most of the years? Sorry, but this is unacceptable, man. You're one of the best. You're one of the biggest and best companies in the world in terms of car production. There's absolutely no way you're slower than a McLaren. Jeez, you're not slower than a McLaren. Sorry, you shouldn't be slower than a McLaren. You shouldn't be slower than a Red Bull. You shouldn't be slower than a Mercedes. Ferrari is one of the fastest cars in the world. You have the money. You have the people to build a car good enough to compete. Yes, I know Ferraris this year has been awful, but I'm sorry, if you throw away a race like this, it's bottle drop at the highest order. It is a bottle drop at the highest fucking order, and I will not take anything from anyone today. I will not take it from anyone today. Anyone wants to throw shade at me? Throw shade at me. It's Ferrari's engineer's fault today. Completely at fault for it today. Completely at fault. You want to add something more, Augustia? I mean, I've said my part. I need to, I'll just wait for you to finish your point, man. Trust me. And slap the lights, people.
Ekevin, everything you said, I hope that gets passed down to Maranello, because that was a masterpiece. It was passionate, it was principled, it was logical, it made a lot of sense. And you're not the only one saying this. Actually, Lewis Hamilton, who, of course, is holding his hands up saying that he shouldn't be driving at Ferrari anymore. Hamilton called himself useless. He says Ferrari should replace him. But after the race, he came out with some more comments. This is what he said. Kevin, do you want to read this, or should I?
I got it, don't worry. Lewis Hamilton was asked if he can help us understand why he said Ferrari should probably change drivers. Not particularly when you have a feeling there's a lot going on in the background that's not so great. There you go.
He's saying everything that Kevin. So he's basically agreeing with you. He's saying not only is two things. A, I'm not as quick as I used to be. I'm not a championship winning driver anymore. But also, even if I was a championship winning driver, what's happening in the background, I still couldn't win. That's what Hamilton is basically saying. Now, do I agree with him? No, I think he definitely still deep down, form is temporary, class is permanent. I know no one defeats father time, but Lewis Hamilton has shown, push come to shove. Like I know you mentioned the rain, Ekavin, but rain is a prime example of when the tire upgrades or when the tire differences, right? Differences in machinery and manpower is nullified, is in the rain, right? Yeah, rain is exactly when they are basically almost equal machinery. It's the closest thing to, let's say, NASCAR or a Formula One racing system where there wasn't differences in superiority. So Lewis Hamilton, what he did in the rain was he was the most premier driver. He was the fastest driver, the quickest driver on track. And he has shown it even towards the end of last season, Silverstone last season, Spa last season. There are sparks, there are flares, but unfortunately, a Formula One season is not a sprint. It's not a flare. It's a marathon. It's a fire. It's hell. You have to be able to go to hell and back to get to heaven. That's what you have to do to win in a Formula One. But we can talk about Hamilton. I'm sure we will later on. But even if Ferrari were to replace Hamilton, let's just assume Hamilton is right. That's it. It's game over. Lewis Hamilton can't win championships. And then they put Ollie Behrman in. What's next? Because I think in 2 years' time, everyone will be calling for Ollie Behrman's head, right? I think all the naysayers of Leclerc today will be calling for Ollie Behrman's head. They'll be calling for whoever replaces Ollie Behrman, right? The problem is not the driver. The drivers are the symptoms. We're not saying Ollie Behrman and Lewis Hamilton are perfect and Leclerc is perfect. Of course not. All of them can definitely improve. Although I would say Leclerc this weekend was the closest thing to perfect. I can't pinpoint a mistake he made, Ekavin, can you? I actually can't. I don't know any time he made a mistake, except maybe with Russell towards the end. But that was a byproduct of all the anger. And to those who say, oh, see, angry drivers can't win championships, look at Max Verstappen. The man literally drove into George Russell a few weeks ago in Austria. So, of course, that happens. But the point here is, Ekavin, I completely agree with you. This is an institutional issue. This is a systemic issue. And I think the number one issue I'm looking at watching this race is we understand Ferrari through the season this year, right? They said all eggs in the basket for next year, right, Ekavin? And you and me both are in agreement on this. I know King disagrees with us. I know many people in Ferrari disagree with us. As you just said, if you're the biggest and best club in your sports history, whether you're Man United, whether you're the Boston Celtics, whether you're Djokovic, you should never, never, never sacrifice a season. Your aim should be to win anything and everything, period. But okay, fine.
Sorry, any Celtics fan that's telling me we should tank this year, yeah, go support the Utah Jazz.
Preach. Exactly. That's where you belong. But not even that, Ekavin. It's fine, we'll give them benefit of the doubt. They sacrificed this year for the new regulations. Even in the new regulations, Ekavin, if we have the perfect machinery, do you think Ferrari can be as McLaren are? Do you think they can be as efficient strategically? Do you think they can be as efficient tactically? No. I mean, even look at today. Not even just about the car itself that was completely flawed and fucked. Somehow discombobulated and deteriorated throughout the race with chassis issues, with engine issues, with fuel issues. Look at strategy. Ekavin, McLaren literally pump faked 101 on Ferrari. Right? They duped them into pitting Charles Leclerc 6 laps earlier, which already gives them a tire disadvantage, even in equal machinery. So it's just a mess institutionally. There do need to be standards, and I'm sorry, if it continues this way and Ferrari keep continuing to make strategic mistakes, I don't know how you can even wait next year. I'm sorry. I think you need to have an overhaul ASAP.
Charles should just say goodbye. It's not worth his career just sitting in the same Ferrari car and they keep doing him dirty like this. Charles could have won so many more races than this, bro. Charles Leclerc in a Red Bull, Charles Leclerc in a McLaren today, Charles Leclerc in a prime Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton alongside him, bro. He's winning 90% of his races.
Put Charles Leclerc or George Russell in that McLaren, they are 50 points on top of one of Lando and Oscar. I truly believe. Take nothing away. Lando and Oscar today, their wheel to wheel was remarkable. It was truly remarkable. It was exhilarating. It was enjoyable. But in terms of pure ability, both of them don't have the peak performance of a Leclerc, nor do they obviously have the reliability across the season. I just think what's happening with Leclerc is so sad because Ekavin, he came in as the chosen boy. He came in as Anakin Skywalker, and then they've turned him into Darth Vader. Like, literally, Ekavin, they've ruined the chosen boy. Charles Leclerc was the chosen one, right? He was literally the chosen one for Ferrari, and they've ruined him completely. They've broken him to the point where he's becoming Darth Vader and wanting to ram into other drivers, brake test George Russell not once but twice.
It's not Charlotte. Charlotte Leclerc stopped.
But King, as you saw Charles Leclerc's rage bait, rage quit, whatever you want to call it, Leclerc should have won this race. You saw how quick Ferrari were on the medium tires.
Medium
You
tires.
saw what, and obviously what they did strategically, they fell for the McLaren pump fake, the chassis issue, also the disagreements with setups before the race, opting to side with the engineers that are notorious for failure, whereas Charles Leclerc, who was single-handedly the only reason why Ferrari were on pole, I'm sorry, I think Ferrari could have won this race. I really believe they could have won this race.
What did I say in my angry rant about Ferrari a few races ago? I told them that they might not be a top 5 team next year. The way they're acting is not a top 5 team, bro. This is not the way they should be acting, bro. They are a top 5 team on ability and on pace, but they're not acting like a top 5 team. They're acting like the biggest chokers in F1 history. Constant week in, week out, changing tires, changing when it shouldn't be, fixing things when it ain't broke. You don't communicate with your drivers. That's the problem, bro. I keep saying this. There's no communication with the drivers and the engineers. Hardly any communication. If they had communicated, bro, Charles Leclerc winning this race 100%. He literally said they didn't listen to him. I bet you he asked for the soft tires.
No, I don't think Charles did that. I mean, if he went soft, he would be self-destructing himself. I don't think that. It's that. I think it's, as you said, communication and setup. Charles Leclerc was complaining. Now, we don't know why he was complaining exactly. We knew there was an issue with the chassis. We knew there was disagreements with the fuel load. We knew they were asking them to lift and coast a lot. But there was some other internal disagreement that we don't know yet. So that needs to come out. But either way, Ekevin, you're right. The fact that unlike McLaren, where the driver and the team is not on the same page before they get on the racetrack, that is indefensible. That can never happen. Especially if you're competing for race victories. And you're right, King, you're absolutely right. Then if they knew their pace difference was that inherent, it was that inherently weaker, they should have subverted the status quo. But they didn't. Because that first stint, it looked like it was very comparable. Those medium tires, it was very comparable. So, God knows what. But King, I recommend you watch the beginning of the show. Ekevin gave a beautiful rant. I talked about it.
We're beating Everton today, Shaba. Hope you enjoy the North London Derby loss, my friend. Big up to you. Go on.
But yeah,
continue.
Sorry, but Ekevin, everything said at the beginning of the show, I completely and utterly agree with you. And as I said, they have turned Charles Leclerc from Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader. Because they've demoralized him, they've broken him, they've completely ruined his confidence and shattered him mentally. And King, I understand you'll say that, Charles Leclerc is not one of the best drivers mentally or ability-wise. I'm sorry, I beg to differ. And then people will cite his pole to win ratio, where he has 27 poles and 8 wins. But if you actually break it down, most of the wins that he didn't get, and I'm not defending Charles Leclerc like 100%, but most of the wins that he wasn't able to convert was because of team errors.
Was on the team.
Because of strategy blunders, because of team errors, because of lack of setup, alignment. So
when there shouldn't be changes.
Yes, exactly. And we'll see what happens next year. I still, obviously, just because of capital, just because of reach, because of manpower, because of the money that they have, Ekevin, Ferrari will be a contender, no doubt. They threw all their eggs in the basket for next season. The only issue is, if it's a competitive season and you're up against the likes of Aston Martin, Mercedes in a neck-and-neck title fight, I don't trust these guys to take me to war and to win at a war. I don't. I would trust both Aston and Mercedes to win a war. And Ekman, I'll be back in about a minute, by the way. But real quick, I fear for Ferrari. Because even though we've thrown all the eggs in the basket for next season, Ekevin, that basket's probably going to break a few races into it.
Bro, team strategy, yeah. I keep on saying this. Ferrari love to fix things when it ain't broke. I can take you back to when Lewis Hamilton won the sprint race this year. When he won the sprint race. Why did Ferrari change up the car for the qualifiers, which would eventually have meant that the race would have been a completely different story? I don't care that sprint is different to race. You had the pace, you made the change, it costed you. You don't change things if it ain't broke. I was telling Augustine on chat before, during the race, I was talking to Augustia in chat. I said that medium, hard, medium would have been the correct tire order for Charles Leclerc to win today's race. Instead, Ferrari did the complete opposite and went medium, hard, and hard. I don't know why they stuck to the hard tires when they were losing pace. I don't know why they had to make changes when sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean that. I'm sorry. I don't know why Ferrari decided to stick to the hard tires when it was not working. The pace was derailing. Yeah. You then go and miscommunicate with your driver. What happens? You end up falling from first to fourth. Forget finishing in the podium. You finished behind George Russell, who wasn't even faster than you this week. This is an absolute embarrassment, bro. And I don't care that Ferrari been shit all year. You finished in the you got pole. You took pole in qualifying. You should have taken that and won the race. From when he started, he built a 3-second gap between him and the best driver this season so far. Yeah, he's built the biggest gap you could have possibly built with the right tires. I don't care that other drivers switched to the hard tires. You, on the other hand, should have stuck to the tires that got you the race pace at the beginning. Great start, did everything right, great pit as well. He came out in front of Oscar Piastri. And after that, he fell for the bait. Or not him. Ferrari fell for the bait. Because Ferrari was supposed to pit just after Oscar Piastri. Or just before. But they pitted 6 laps prior. And I guess they are spot on with that one. This is just constant errors. Same old errors, man, from this exact same team. I don't know who Ferrari bringing as engineers, but I'm sorry. The qualification of them needs to be studied. Their qualification needs to be studied. Because how do you make the exact same mistakes as the previous team once you keep making changes, and they still make the exact same mistake?
Kevin, it's not even the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's insanity on steroids. They're making new mistakes that didn't even exist before. Like, they are literally creating mistakes. Like, sometimes they amaze me with how intelligent they are to manufacture new mistakes. I didn't even know it was possible.
The first pit was amazing. That was perfect.
Oh yeah, that was Guido from Cars, man. 2 seconds, bing bang bosh. But that's
Piastri as well. Literally came out right in front of Oscar Piastri and built a gap.
Yeah.
So that's him, man. That's just him. So
granted, they were undercut though. They did lose about 2 seconds in the pits. Because before they both pitted, Charles had a 3-second gap. Then after they pitted, Charles was only up by a second. So even then, they still lost the delta time. But sorry, Ekevin, go on.
No. I'm good, bro. I just want to say that. I'm good.
No, so yeah, I agree with you, and I hope. I don't even know, honestly. Well, I don't even know what I hope from Ferrari, because I guess we have to trust the process, right? All eggs are in the basket for next year, but there does need to be a structural examination and evaluation of what can be fixed to prevent and avoid these mistakes and mishaps. Because at the moment, even if you give them the perfect car and you give them perfect drivers, somehow in some way, whether it's through tinkering the setup or whoever's making the final calls, something goes wrong. And even the data. I mean, there were so many moments, if you actually look at Lewis Hamilton's race, where they fed him misinformation and the wrong information. And a couple of times they were talking about Gasly and Hadjar, who Hamilton was fighting with in the midfield. And they're like, oh, Hadjar didn't pit at this time, but he actually had pit. Oh, Gasly actually is our rival. He's on new tires, but he was on old tires. So whatever is going on with Ferrari, their data, their telemetry team, it is rookie errors 0.0. It is indefensible. It is an incompetent, or it is just impotent. So, yeah, Kevin, it is a tragedy, and I fear for Ferrari. And my prediction of saying that this season for Lewis Hamilton, that was looking like a prophecy, whereby I said last year he's going to be the first half of the season, he's going to struggle. He's going to look really woeful. He'll be appalling. Charles will dunk on him. In the second half of the season, he'll slowly regain rhythm. And then in 2026, he'll win the championship. I don't even think he can win the championship at this current circumstance. So yeah, it feels like a funeral. It really does. Because as you said, Ekevin, neither of us care about what Ferrari did this year, because the only time we do care about them is when they're competing for the championship, right? Yeah. But the one time that we're competing for race victories and this happens, Ekevin, I'm sorry. Winners are clinical. Winners are ruthless. Winners are relentless.
They
Winners do
crumble.
whatever it takes to win. They seize the moment. They exploit the advantage they have, every little advantage that they have. They create new advantages. Ferrari is the inverse of that. And Ferrari has always been the inverse of that. They ruined Fernando Alonso. They ruined Sebastian Vettel. They ruined Lewis Hamilton. They are ruining Charles Leclerc.
They're gonna ruin Charlotte.
And these aren't slouches they're ruining. These are 3 of the 4 best drivers this century. Hamilton, Alonso, and Vettel. Leclerc, the Prince of Monaco, who's going to be the king that never was.
You know what it is, bro? You know what's funny? It's like their own team is robbing them of races. Their own team is robbing them of race wins because of their incompetence and their awful, awful strategy that I've been saying time and time and time again is fucking shit. And it has been shit for years, and it will be shit because these drivers and these people will not communicate with each other. Or did they even bother to communicate with each other? That's the problem. Charles Leclerc should have made it clear from the second pit stop that we're going to go to the medium in the second pit stop. Cool. King made a good point here. Maybe it could have been a one-stop race. You know what? Maybe it could have been. It could have been a one-stop race, possibly.
No, but actually, Ekevin, King, you're right. But if it was a one-stop, what tire would Ferrari have had to go onto? The hard tire.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he would have been swamped by George Russell instantly. And actually, he would have fallen behind to maybe even Fernando Alonso. That's how bad it is on that compound. And Ekevin, you know what? I'm going to give you full credit. You've been saying this since the shows have started. Since you've done the Formula One show. Since before the Pole Position podcast. You've been talking about Ferrari in this specific compound. And the tragedies that can happen under it.
Ferrari is
right?
a tragedy that happened.
It's worse than the Titanic.
Or it's already happened.
Yeah. Ferrari is the grade for them today, F for Ferrari.
Literally, bro. Honestly. Like, when we're going to go and grade cars at the end of the year, we're going to go and grade teams at the end of the year, F literally stands for Ferrari, and it just describes itself. It just describes itself. It's an absolute joke. Big up to everyone watching. Slap the likes, but hit subscribe. Let's get to 20 likes. 376 subs out of 4,000. Let's get to 400 subs, guys. We're getting ever so closer, guys. Keep subbing to the channel. Big up to my guy Tifosi. Big up to you, bro.
Yo, Tifosi, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what happened today and how you feel about Ferrari today and going forward. Because
please send me your ad. I'll send you the link. Hop on and talk, please.
Yeah, feel free to, man.
I'm really interested to see your views. If you're, it's okay. You don't need to have your camera on. You don't need to, feel like we're pressuring you. If you don't want to jump on, it's cool as well. But you don't need to open your camera if you don't want to, and you just say your points, man.
Yeah, and if you're up for it, Tifosi, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
And this show, just a disclaimer, it's only about Ferrari this week. I don't give a flying fuck about anyone else today. I'm sorry. Congrats to Lando Norris. We'll talk about him maybe later. But as of right now, we need to round up a Ferrari.
Although I do want to say something about Lando and Aston Martin, like at the end, if that's okay. At the end, I don't want to talk about them very briefly.
No problem.
Cool. Yeah, Tifosi, we've just been talking about how Ferrari, even though we understand this year was about preparing for the new regulations, this year was always a throwaway year. This year, the white flag was thrown in before the year started. It's all about next year. A race like this, the one and only race where we're competitive, where we were able to race win, this happened. So it just creeps in a lot of doubt in both Ekevin and my mind that Ferrari actually have the credibility and the credentials to even compete next year. Because let's just assume that they have the perfect car. Let's just assume that they have the perfect driver pairing. Take Lewis Hamilton out and put Max Verstappen in. Somehow, some way, they will fuck up Max and Charles Leclerc. Yep. Honestly, I think that's the perfect description. I have no words.
And bro, I really enjoyed Charles's meltdown. Not only because I was laughing or it was a joke, I enjoyed the way he completely fucking threw shade at the team, or he completely just told. I'm gonna say a pause. Stuck it in them.
For sure. And even that's less painful than what Ferrari do, right?
Yeah.
Sticking it in. So I mean, it's just it's fucked up. You're right, but it's good for Leclerc in a way. It's good character development, right? I compared Leclerc to Fosi to Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. I don't think you need to be a Star Wars fan to understand this analogy. Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one, and then as he goes through his prophecy, as they give up everything for him to be the chosen one, uh, he turns into Darth Vader because of the circumstances, because of the environment around him. That kind of reminds me of Leclerc, doesn't it, Ekvin? I mean, this was supposed to be the decade of Leclerc. Remember, in 2022, they gave him a car capable of competing with Max. The first 6 months, what did they do with the car, Ekvin? What did they do with that car? They fucked it up. And then somehow they regressed it. And Aston Martin could compete with them. Then Mercedes, in their weak era, were getting as many wins as Ferrari. And then McLaren, who were rock bottom. Within 1.5 years, they go from rock bottom to reigning supreme, unquestionably. What is going on, Ferrari? Seriously, you can keep changing, you can keep scapegoating the driver, but at the end of the day, the root of the problem comes at the very top.
You're right. You're right. Honestly, I have no words in Ferrari how they messed up with Leclerc. Bro, they'll mess up any fucking driver that walks into Ferrari. They've messed up Vettel. They've messed up Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso. If they messed up Michael Schumacher, cancel Ferrari. Genuinely, that's how bad it is, bro. The team itself, yeah, the engineers that work there, God knows where they're from. And the lack of, bro, I've seen so many clips of Charles Leclerc and the team. Yeah, bro, do they even speak English properly? How many times are they gonna say box, box? No, stay out. Make up your fucking mind. Make up your mind. I can bring up past races all I want, but this is the prime example of the past races that have happened. This race today is a prime example of all the past races that have fucking happened. Who do you blame here in Ferrari? Like, where's the problem? You might disagree with me, but Fred Vasseur might be an issue as well. I think Fred Vasseur is a good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He'll definitely be the guy who takes Ferrari to the top. But he needs to hold these guys accountable. He at the same time has to take some part in the blame. I'm not trying to say he's the problem. He's not the biggest issue. No, he's not. He's not the issue. Fred Vasseur is fine. It's the people behind. It's the people that he's brought in that are the issue. Don't forget, he just came into Ferrari like a year ago or two. So people need to realize that the people that he's brought in are an issue. So he has to take some of that blame and then fix that for next year. Ferrari should not be doing this rebuild, retooling, and all that crap. It should not be the way. Ferrari should never ever sacrifice 1 year and see how good the car is. They should always be competitive no matter what.
And can I add it? Kevin, it's not just sacrificing 1 year. You're sacrificing a year when, as momentum-wise, you were the leading constructor. Let's not forget, Kevin, the last 6 months of the year, we were the quickest car. It was us and McLaren, and I would argue we were actually quicker. And every single upgrade we brought, we were quicker than them.
Don't know why they made the change, man.
So they sacrificed a year where they probably would have competed for the championship. No, 100% would have. If not won the championship for a season where God knows what will happen next year. But Tifosi, it's a very good question. I'll just answer it in 3 words. I'm not going to tell you who, because I'm not going to pinpoint who exactly is to blame. It's rather what is the problem. 3 things. A, communication. B, competency. And C, philosophy. Those 3 words. Communication, competency, philosophy. Philosophy, Ekvin is 100% right. First of all, you need to remember your philosophy is your identity. Ferrari's identity is the biggest and best franchise in motorsport history. Not Formula 1 history, in motorsport history.
Agreed.
When he opened the show, he said that Ferrari is one of the biggest institutions in the world. You're right. They are the only team in F1 to transcend the sport. Everyone knows Ferrari. Everybody, whether you're an 80-year-old grandparent to a 5-year-old kid, whether you have 0 to 100% interest in motorsport, everybody knows what Ferrari is.
Bro, from the
They should
start,
always be striving to
they've
win.
been the best car.
And
Sorry, go. Okay.
And as Ferrari, not only that, your reach is unparalleled. Your revenue is unparalleled. Your ratings are unparalleled. You are the most successful constructor in motorsport history. You have 248 wins in Formula One history. You've had the greatest drivers in Formula One history drive for you. Every single driver dreams of driving for Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel said, everybody's a Ferrari fan. Even if they don't admit it, they are a Ferrari fan. That's your identity. And if you're the best and you're the biggest, as I give you the United example, as I give you the Lakers example, as I give you the Celtics example, what should you always be doing, Ekavin? Winning.
Winning.
That's it. Great. That's your philosophy. And you can even pick winning with style like Man United with Sir Alex. But winning is the first and only requirement. Okay, that's philosophy. Then competency. Do you have the people able to win? That's simple. There is no sentiment. In that regard, King is 100% correct. There is no sentiment. But there is a fine line between sentiment and being senseful. You can't. Rome wasn't built in a day. This is no pun. This is no theatrics. This is no hysterics. Rome wasn't built in a day. These people need time. Fred Vasseur needs time. But at the same time, what have these people shown to deserve time? That's the question I have. I'm not asking for an overhaul. I'm saying keep most of the core intact. Keep people like Fred Vasseur there. Yo, Nick, I love you. People like Fred Vasseur there because he has a project. And I don't think he's done enough to relieve him of his role. So philosophy is number one. Competency is number two. The third thing is communication. Communication is the bridge between philosophy and competency. Communication is what ties you between your philosophy and your identity of, hey, I'm Ferrari, I'm the biggest and the best, I'm never going to sacrifice anything unless it's winning, to the competency, which is can you win? So those are my three issues with Ferrari. King, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I just feel heartbroken for Charles Leclerc.
Can you hear me? Is it good?
Yeah, a lot of background noise, man.
Yeah. I'm outside of my hotel room.
You look
Um,
and I are in hell right now.
I'm gonna lie to you. The biggest mistake, as you talked about, was Ferrari's second pit stop. I think you can't be duped out by another team like that. I think the issue I have with Ferrari is that they should have drove their own race rather than thinking about McLaren. I think a lot of the times when a team is racing, the best think about themselves, and the teams that are terrible think about others. And I think that's what Ferrari made the biggest mistake, is where they thought about McLaren too tough. They were thinking about what McLaren was going to do when it came to Charles, when they should have just let him go a bit longer on the second stint, because I think it was too early. I feel like the second stint just went so quickly. And it meant that they only had the hard tires to choose for the third, rather than if they went longer, then maybe you could go mediums, or even maybe you could go mediums, or you could even prolong it and then go softs. Or if it came down to a situation, you could have just stayed out.
I don't mean to cut it, bro. I've been saying, you and I have been saying this as well. Yeah, Ferrari are the best car on the medium tire. They have to stick to the medium tire. But the medium tires actually built a gap at the very start of the race. If you actually look at the start, the way Ferrari started the race, I thought was brilliant. I thought the way Charles got out of that corner, brilliant. He held on to the lead, built a gap with the medium tires. So why doesn't Ferrari then all of a sudden go from the medium to the hard to the medium? I've been saying this. They should follow that pattern, not go back to what was derailing them from the race. You know what I'm trying to say? That has completely ruined the whole entire race. Using a tire that is not their best and not their strongest. Sorry, bro.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like if they went a bit longer and then went on to mediums, they would have had a bigger chance. I still think they would have been caught by the McLarens. My upset is that they got caught by George Russell. I think that's the worst situation, because McLarens are the best cars. So it was going to happen eventually, that them two cars were going to catch up to Charles. I think even though Hungarian is a very difficult track to pass a car, as you saw at the end with the two McLarens, I feel like the McLarens were quicker in the last stint compared to the Ferrari. Maybe in the mediums it might have made a difference, but I felt like they would have put them up and catch them eventually. I just think they were better on the tyres. I think they were better with their stints in terms of the second and especially third stint. And they had better ideas. Obviously, one driver did a one stop, the other did two, and it
Yeah.
worked for both.
I agree with
And
you.
I think Norris came out top because of the one stop.
Yeah,
Agree-
can I add?
On the George Russell point.
That's even worse. because
Actually, can I add something?
Sorry.
King, I agree with you. If that was the outcome, right? Let's say Leclerc lost to just the McLarens, but then he beat George. It's not that I would be pissed. I wouldn't. It's not what happened. It's how it happened. I think that's the difference. It's that we never got to see them fight, have a fair fight, right? Ferrari fucked up the strategy. They fucked up the setup. They completely subverted everything that Leclerc asked for and more. That's the problem. It wasn't McLaren that beat Leclerc. It was Ferrari that beat their own driver. I think that's the difference today.
Agreed. Ferrari basically done their drivers dirty again. Today, it was on the team. I've been saying this and I will continue to say this. It was completely on the team today. The fact that they didn't even listen to him, they didn't listen to Charles Leclerc when Charles Leclerc literally told them at the start, should have listened to me at the start, we should have communicated properly, we should have agreed on certain things. The fact that they didn't agree is where I draw the line. You need to listen to your driver when the driver is saying an issue because they're the one driving the car. You're the one at the garage trying to control, trying to talk to and communicate to your drivers. I never heard anything. I never heard a proper communication between these two, between the engineers and the driver. And this is where I blame the whole entire team on this one. It's a lack of awareness, and it's been costing Ferrari in constant races year in year out. It's the constant lack of, awareness, lack of, how would you say it? Lack of self-respect, even, I would say. I probably go as far as to say. It's a lack of self-respect because you have a driver that's tried to compete for a championship for Ferrari last year. Ferrari for me was on the up last year. I thought definitely last year build on from that. What do? You go and change it. You go and change your strategy. You go and change your car. You go and you start pinning it on your drivers. You start blaming your drivers. I'm sorry, there's no reason why Charles Leclerc should even be blamed today. Anyone in the chat that wants to disagree with me, go ahead. Charles Leclerc is blameless today, complete blameless today. There's not one I can't pin on him today. He was my driver of the day, and you call me crazy, but he was my driver of the day today. Because all of that, right, should not have happened. It shouldn't have happened the way it did. If he had come P3, if he came to P3, sure, maybe I wouldn't have been as mad. But the fact that he got pole yesterday, he did what he had to do. He did all he could to try and get that pole position, and he got it. And he got it this week. He got it. And you don't go and mess up the strategy. You go and mess up everything that happened. You go and mess it all up for him and for yourself. So I can only blame the team today, man. I'm sorry, but that's just what I think. I'm lost for words, man. I'm genuinely lost for words, bro. Because I thought this was the race finally that I thought Ferrari would actually win. I thought finally, I have something to cheer about this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, King, I don't know if you were there at that part of the show. I think the only flaw I think Leclerc had this week was he pulled a max, whereby all the trauma of these errors and these strategic mishaps, he kind of brake tested George and then nearly rammed himself into George at one point as well. So he got a deserved 5-second penalty, which obviously is unacceptable behavior. But yeah, I mean, that just tells you, like, King, I don't know if you heard my analogy. I call Leclerc Anakin Skywalker. I think he's the chosen one who's turned into Darth Vader. That's what I'm going to call Leclerc, right? Because everyone and everything has supported him, has uplifted him. But then slowly across the way, even though he's been backed fully, circumstances, certain people that have, dissuaded him, disrupted his rhythm and momentum, turning him into the person that, he's not supposed to be. So that's how I would do it here.
I want to cry, man. Genuinely. I actually want to cry. I don't often get pissed off, because this is the year I didn't expect much from Ferrari. But the one race you actually give expectation to, you've been let down huge. You've been let down massively. Sorry, King. Go on, bro.
No, I agree. It was unacceptable what Charles did at the end of the race. Obviously, frustration. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think I like the fact that he was vocal about his displeasure today. I think this is the first time I've seen him properly angry, and a lot of the time he just lets things go. So he's a bit too nice. I don't know if it's the Monaco because he's a comfortable lifestyle, but I need him to be more angry when it comes to things.
I like that.
Sorry, guys. I don't want to be rude. I'll let you go, King. I just can't take the contrast in funeral mood to the music. The music in the background is so upbeat, uplifting, and here we are funeral mourning for Ferrari.
Yeah, no, this is to be honest, I'm happy I'm here. To be honest, I'd be in a different mood if I was at home. I'll be honest, right now, especially after that race. But
I love to hear
there's not really much.
I want to hear your real anger.
No, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed in the last stop. I just feel like it was childish. I think it was basic. It was. It reminds me of something like a race. What racing bulls would do. Just mess up their strategy and then Hadjar goes from top 10 to 20th. It's just that's how it felt like. And for Charles, I think he should have been in the podium minimum. I think that's the most expected because obviously the McLaren's on another level, but the George one hurts me.
I compared this one to the biggest bottle job in Champions League history. 3-3, Liverpool AC Milan. This is worse than that. I told you this is worse than that. It's worse than the bottle. It's actually this is a bottle job at the highest level. It is a bottle job. People want to tell me it's not a bottle job. It is a bottle job. It is. It's not even sugarcoat that anymore. It's not even close to what you call error. This is a bottle job.
I wouldn't say a bottle job because we're not the best car. Obviously, you have to factor in that the pole came out of nowhere. Obviously, tricky conditions in Q3. So I don't think me going into the race, I didn't expect him to keep the position. I was happy he did for most of the race. I just, as I said, disappointed with the second stop. That's it. That's the Ferrari mistake. The second stop, going into hards. If they took a bit longer, let him out a bit longer, on into the mediums. At least gave him a chance to compete with the McLarens. At least then, if he finished P3, I'd say it's a valiant effort. They finally got him towards the end. And especially Hungarian, being a track that's very difficult to pass someone in, you just need to give him a chance. And I think that's the thing they did. They never gave him a chance at the end. And that's what's more annoying to me. Is they never gave him the chance to defend himself against Oscar and against George. They left him a sitting duck, pretty much. Just how Hamilton was in his first stint, a sitting duck, he was in his third. And it's just a bad day for Ferrari in general. No points for Hamilton. Optimism going into the race. And P4, no podium for Charles when he should have had a podium. Man, it's just a bad day. But shout out to Bortoletto for the P5? Shout out to the P5 and P6.
P5, yeah. P5 for his manager.
Let me double check.
Bortoletto. No, it was
P6.
great.
Shout
He's
out
rookie of the year, no doubt. Him and Isaac.
I think I actually agree with you. It's gotta be him. It's gotta be him now. Bortoletto.
Yeah, and first of all,
he's falling off a huge cliff.
can I give a shout out to someone? Big up to Key Talks. He is Gabriel Bortoletto's manager. He's his father, his best promoter. Kudos to you because you've been on our ass about Bortoletto from the beginning, since you've been watching these shows. And hey, everything you said, manifested it, paid dividends beautifully. To the point where Ekevin is literally creating a short just about you and Gabby Bortoletto.
Also, I think Aston are going to turn into the second best car towards the end of the second half of the season.
No, wait. Can I say this, King? Did you hear what I said about Aston on yesterday's show?
No,
I don't think you watched it. Okay, you can watch the 5 minutes if you want. Trust me, I genuinely believe if Aston Martin completely isolated sentiment, and they had sense. And if they broke the bank for either Max or they poached George Russell before he signs his contract with Mercedes, they would win the championship next year. I really believe that, okay? These upgrades this weekend, this night and day difference isn't just because of the downforce that suits them. It's not just that, guys. It's not the downforce. It's the fact that these are the Adrian Newey upgrades. Fernando Alonso himself said it. This is Adrian Newey's car. This is becoming his car. And the fact that both drivers who drove decent races, okay? But it's the fact that the car is putting both of them a couple tenths within pole. Guys, next season they're going to be up there. They're going to be competing. And man, if they had Max and Fernando Alonso, my goodness, McLaren ain't stopping that. Ferrari ain't stopping that. Mercedes don't have the driver pairing to stop that. Jackpot. Lawrence Stroll, you want to win the championship. You want to be the villains. You can do it. You have the machine to do it. You have the manpower. Just get the right driver in. Sorry.
Maybe not next season because they'll have Stroll, but season after when Max decides
But you see, that's what they should do. They should have broken the bank for Max. If not, they can still get George Russell. I mean, his contract, they haven't signed it yet.
I don't think they're going to do it next season. I think the only way they would get rid of Stroll is if they brought in a Max. And I think that might happen. As I said, I'm been on the belief that was going to happen eventually. I think because I feel like Aston Martin's going to be one of the better cars next year. And I feel like if you get a good car, Alonso can win the championship again. So look out for Alonso to create a miracle next season if he gets the car.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Aston Martin can do it.
What we listened to King say about him last week.
No. Sorry, it wasn't King. He listened to me and Ekman compliment him so much. He was like, I gotta prove them right. W Lander, real quick, we haven't spoken about you much. That was Champion's Drive. And I know at the beginning he lost places, but he saw a gap and he went for it. He tried something unique. He subverted the status quo. And he finished the race off with that one stop beautifully. And he defended Oscar Piastri, who was on a fresher set of tires. Wow, so kudos to him. And I'll just say one more thing. I think if it was Lando in Oscar's position, who locked up towards the end of the race, everybody would be on Lando's ass saying he's a choke job, he's a bottler. Ekman, wouldn't you agree with me on that one? If it was Lando who locked up in the last lap of the race trying to overtake Oscar, everyone would have been on Lando's ass. But because it's Oscar, no one will talk about it. Which I agree, it's fine. Like Oscar was it was a lunge, fine. But still, kudos to Lando Norris. I have nothing but praise for you for that race. And this championship is going to go great down to the wire.
No, I'm going to be on the Oscar. He should have had more patience towards the end there. I think you don't just dive. You have to get the right time, especially Hungary is a very difficult track to pass. So he needed one good opportunity and he messed it up. That cost him the race win.
I want to ask you a quick question yet. Do you not think that was a dangerous lunge by Oscar in one of the turns?
They were a couple centimeters away from having a Russell Leclerc Alonso podium.
It was on the final lap, I think, where Oscar literally went into the corner, and then that's where I was wondering, should he be penalized for that? I was wondering because remember Charles went into George in one of the turns.
No. There's a difference. Charles intentionally tried to brake test George, whereas Piastri, on the other hand, he just locked up.
Piastri did try to overtake him, so that's it. That can maybe look at kind of, sort of. He kind of tried to intentionally overtake him in that sense, but that was awfully done by him, in my opinion. I think it was a terrible lunge in. They should have looked at that. In my opinion, they should have looked at that. I don't know how
it wouldn't be looked into because McLaren wouldn't complain about their own drivers having an incident with each other.
But the FIA would then have a say in it as well.
It would have to take a complaint. Those ones have to take a complaint.
Also, not just the complaint, I just don't see the precedent. I don't see under what section rules or on what basis that was illegal. I think he just locked up. Like, yes, it was a risky overtake, no doubt about that, but it wasn't illegal for sure.
Yeah.
Like, just lockups. It's like the...
As I said,
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No. I was going to say something, but it's not the right comparison. You actually saved me. Go on.
No, I was gonna say I feel like the only thing McLaren would be upset about is with Oscar is that he nearly crashed in them two and nearly cost them both the positions, and I think he may get reprimanded like internally for that one because I think, as I said, it was too much of a risk to take. I think he should have been a lot more smarter towards the end of the race because he had the tire advantage. He just needed that one shot. But man tried to think he was Danny Ricciardo, tried to do the late break, and then it cost him. When if he waited maybe one more lap, got a bit closer, had a bit better kind of exit off that final corner, maybe he could have got him. But it's one of them ones where Lando just defended beautifully, and Oscar just never got enough opportunities to get past him. He just ran out of laps, pretty much.
True that. Very well said, King. I agree with you. And I do think this will go down to the wire, and I think it just shows you that the level between both drivers is neck and neck. I don't think any of them is outstandingly better than the other. Now, still, Ekevin, I think you agree with me on this one, so we're 2-1 on the panel. We'll see what Liam says. I think Lando Norris, gun to the head. I think he's a better driver than Oscar Piastri, but I think Oscar Piastri mentally is better than Lando, so we will see. But I think the gap is not as big as everyone makes it out to be, and it would not surprise me if Lando Norris ended up winning the championship this year, just because he's winning all the technical races. He won Monaco, he won Silverstone, he won Austria, he won Australia. He won Hungary. Gap is 9 points, Ekevin.
9 points. So one race could change everything now.
One race will change everything.
How many more we got? We got like what? 9 left to go. 9 races to go.
So 9 races, 9 points. I think. Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, I don't know.
I reckon Lando's still in it. Lando's still in it, but it depends on obviously how everything unfolds, how what happens next week, or in the next coming weeks. So we'll see. Depends on McLaren's upgrades. Depends on, the cars itself. I guess that's all I can really say. I'm just so pissed off. I'm hardly even making sense of anything else I'm saying. I lost my mind after that race, man. I'm genuinely like still fuming at that. Like, rightly so. Sure.
Can I make one last point?
Of course, go on.
I was really surprised with the pace, with the lack of pace that the Red Bull had over the weekend as well. Like normally Verstappen's able to at least make something of the car, but this weekend he just nothing.
Here he is.
Yeah, man, respectable P6, but I think Verstappen had a couple good overtakes. The one on Hamilton was did he get punished for that? I don't know if he got punished for that one.
You read my mind. Just checking that out, King. I don't know. No update.
That was okay. That was a bit risky, but outside of that, I just think.
Oh, sorry. Can I interrupt? I have the update. No surprise, I'm sure to you. No further action.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, knew it.
That was not Lewis's.
Verstappen protected. Verstappen gets protected everywhere he goes. But in all honesty, I don't understand his decision to stay with Red Bull for a year after the way the car looks towards the end of this year. And the only thing I understand is maybe he wants another year to assess his situation, maybe to see which cars are going to be the top, and then pick from there. So maybe Mercedes, maybe Aston Martin, maybe Williams, maybe whoever has the opportunity to get him and has the better car, maybe. But outside of that, yeah, it's sooner rather than later Max is going to make the move, because that's not a winning car, and I don't think it's going to be a winning car anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with you, King, and I mentioned this on the weekend where Max Verstappen officially confirmed he is staying at Red Bull next year. Look at what Aston Martin is doing. Look at what Mercedes can do and will do next year. Look at what the McLaren is doing. The Ferrari is quicker. Red Bull this weekend, in terms of their optimal lap time, is closer to Alpine and Kick Sauber than they are to
They're quicker but dumber.
Red Bull? Or Ferrari, sorry. Well, I wouldn't use dumb. I think dumber is very disrespectful to the word dumber.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't disrespect, dumber stuff. Like, Ferrari is worse than dumb. They're dumber than dumb. But yeah, so real quick, you're right, and it's crazy. Yuki Tsunoda had a great qualifying. Like he was 1/10 behind Max, and he finished. He didn't even make it out of Q1. That car is imploding very quickly, more than we expected. I know, Kevin, you posted a clip about that, or you are posting a clip about that soon. I hope, which is good. Real quick, key talks. I gave you a shout out like 10, 15 minutes ago. Kudos to you, man. Big up. You've been on our ass about Bortoleto for quite some time, and you manifested everything. You deserve all the praise you get because that guy is easily rookie of the year. The fact that
Yeah.
he's finished P6 and he's dunking on Nico Hulkenberg, who is a very good driver still, nothing shy of respect and admiration to Gabby Bortoleto. And for sure, as he slowly gets confidence and acclimates to this car, he is easily proving and showing us why he should be in the sport and why he should be in a car competing for, race wins down the line, maybe even championships.
Is there a pattern between Piastri and Lando winning races? Maybe.
No.
Yeah, I guess there's a pattern that whoever wins the race finishes first. That's the pattern.
Lando had the better strategy today, I would say that.
This is true though. Why the hell they don't learn from their mistakes? They act like it's their first time racing, bro. They do that mistake. They do it often. They do it very, very often. On flip flop,
Each race is different. Each race is different based on the weather conditions, based on the ability of the car, based on who's your drivers, the confidence of the driver.
Yeah, this is why Lewis didn't climb up the table today because he finished P12, and last week he was on the intermediates, which helped him climb up to a good position. This week it's not a wet race. You're not in the intermediates, so you're in a huge disadvantage. The fact that he couldn't even get past a guy who was above him by 0.5 seconds is a joke. Seriously.
It's Hungarian. It's basically Monaco, but just looks nicer. That's what it is. Yeah,
There's
looks
more
nice.
There's-
Track is nicer.
I will say there's more overtaking zones than here than Monaco.
Yeah, more greenery. What I'm saying, it's not like houses and that. It's more greenery.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Monaco looks elegant, but I know what you're talking about. The track, it looks nicer. It looks like they're more overtaken opportunities, but they're almost isn't. Oh yeah, on Oscar.
There's only one spot, and you have to overspeed the car by like a lot.
I mean, Max had a couple overtakes outside the conventional overtaking spot, which was kudos to him.
But he was overly aggressive with that. That's why.
Yeah, that's why he pays dividends. On the Oscar thing, real quick. Yeah, let me just say, Oscar, under pressure, he has made a couple mistakes. Talk about him versus Max early on in the season. I think it was Imola. He does make mistakes. So Oscar and Lando both are error prone. That's why I say someone like George, someone like Charles, put them in that car. I do feel like they would do better than both Lando and Oscar, but I'm not complaining because Lando and Oscar have been remarkable to watch. Very good. Enjoyable.
I hear you.
No. I think Charles and George are error prone as well, especially Charles. He has a lot of errors in him.
No, but I just don't think they're nearly as error prone or have the ability to not maximize the car as much as the other two do. Like George and Charles seem to punch above their weight at almost every opportunity. Charles has shown he can go wheel to wheel with Max. George has gone wheel to wheel with Lewis. Whereas Lando and Oscar, I'm not sure I've seen them do that yet. Although Lando has shown that.
Out of the four, I would put George up the top of that list in terms of less mistakes, being able to.
George is the most reliable one. I would say Oscar is also the most reliable among the four, but the only issue with Oscar is I think Charles is just a better racer. He's a much better qualifier, and give him the machinery. I think look what he did last week with Max. That was beautiful. That was a masterstroke.
He's more competitive for sure. That's the one thing I can say.
I mean, he just needs to be.
I'll say Oscar has the best mentality out of all of them, though.
I think George now also is getting that win-like mentality. I'm seeing that in George. I'm seeing it in his eyes. You see it last year as well when he took on that role of being the leader for Mercedes when Hamilton was checking out.
Preach. What was that, Oscar? Yours on you for Lando. That's the one thing I think Lando Norris made a huge risk. I think going one pit stop, which I did tell Augustia while we were while the race thing. I was kind of stressing that his tires weren't going to last. It almost didn't last. If it had gone on for another lap or so, I think Oscar would have overtaken him. If it went on for another few more laps, it would have been Oscar's race because Oscar had the newer, fresher tires. Where
Nah,
he did two pit stops, and they took the risk in putting Lando in one pit stop. So that's it.
I did.
The World Drivers' Championship. Sorry.
Yeah.
go ahead.
I did tell both of you. I think Lando is the threat. It's not going to be Oscar today. It'll be Lando. If for the Charles conversation. Yeah.
Yep.
Kudos to you. Take up.
No worries, man. F3 and F2 champions for a reason. McLaren always going to be favor Lando later regardless. They're going to favor Lando regardless later down the line. Maybe. There's
I don't think
space
so.
for Lando to,
I think they'll let them fight.
I would say more space for Lando to bottle because it was. Don't forget, it was hardly an overtaking zone. You know what I mean? Hardly an overtaking zone. F3 and F2 champion for a reason. Yep. After Max is gone, Red Bull will be a midfield team.
I mean, they already are basically.
They pretty much are. This
is actually like, guys. This might be Red Bull's worst performance in the new regs, or it's because I think surely it's their worst performance. I mean, Max was not competitive at all, and Max, by the way, I think he had a very good race. Like personally, he had some great overtakes. He was one of the better drivers this weekend. But man, that car is really bad.
Big up to Lumen's 1 billionth account. Doesn't matter what you do in the junior series. F1 is different. Facts. When it gets
I wouldn't disregard it, but yeah, for sure, it's not like.
But when it gets to the higher stages, the latter stages of your career, and when you're in the F1 seat, yeah, the pressure is different, 100%. The pressure is different. Let me just go through any comments that I've missed out. Lando, see that. And last comment that I haven't brought up is this one. Oscar, Charles, George, and Gabriel are all F3 and F2 champions, but you have to prove it in the big leagues competing for World Drivers' Championship. Lando hasn't won F3 and F2, but it looks like he will be World Drivers' Championship. There's a good chance that could happen. But yeah, you're spot on, bro. You need to prove it in the big leagues, and they have proven it. They've all proven it. Oscar, Charles, and George, and Gabriel. Gabriel Bortoleto slowly getting there. Oscar, Charles, and George, yeah, they have. They've slowly proven themselves. How the hell did I forget Max has still won 2 races this year? It's Super Max Verstappen for a reason, guys, isn't it? It's Max Verstappen.
Ekevin, it's Daddy Max.
Oh my god! All right. Anyways, any more before you close out, or anything you want to add before you move on? Just sorry for Hulk, he's no pushover.
Oh, no, honestly, here I think he'll be happy. Like he's still in the sport. He got his podium. He might even get a good car as well. And it's kind of like Sonny Hayes, Joshua Pierce. That's how I see it, right? They're Apex GP. If you've seen the film, like towards the end of the film, not the the beginning part where they want to kill each other. Let me clarify that.
I understand. But
you show the next comment, Key's comment. Dude, it would be my honor if I could be, but no. I'm joking. Max is great, but that's a good inside joke for sure.
Also, Hamilton's quality interview, bro. We spoke about it yesterday, so if you
I mean, he doubled down on it today. Oh, actually, wait. Can I ask King? I want to hear King. I'm sure you've seen his comments, right, Hamilton? What he said.
Seen the Hamilton comments that he's called.
What did you make of it? And also today, in case you haven't seen, he's doubled down on it. He said the same thing.
For me personally, I think when a driver loses confidence like him and he doesn't have the belief that he's going to win a race, I think that's the worst feeling. So maybe his time is up. Maybe. I still believe he can win one more title next year if Ferrari give him the car. But I just think he's lost confidence in himself as a driver, and he needs to get that back at some point. If he doesn't get it back towards the end, second half of the season, then I think he'll leave the sport voluntarily rather than being forced out. Because I think
True that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, he has too much I think he has too much pride to feel like that constantly. So if he feels like that at the end of the season, I think he retires.
Oh, you believe he'll retire this season?
If he still feels the same towards the end of the season, yes.
Wow. I don't disagree with you, but I do think with Hamilton, if you give him the car, he'll find a way. Trust me, it's Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. He never went Ferrari for the money. He went for the dream. He always dreamed of driving Ferrari.
And can I just say real
sometimes dreams turn to nightmares.
Ouch. Poetic, but ouch. Can I just say real quick, to anyone saying that Hamilton shouldn't have gone, I disagree. I think you have to look at it prospectively, not retrospectively. If you have a chance to drive for the biggest franchise in your sport's history, do the one thing that you haven't done, whereas stay at Mercedes, stay at a team that at worst would probably be at a similar level to you, you would make the move, right? Lewis's time at Mercedes had come to an end basically. And
I give you prime examples in other sports as well, bro.
yeah, exactly. It's fulfilling a purpose. It provides a new purpose and passion, and it ignites a fire back in him. So, Lewis going to Ferrari made sense. I don't think he can regret it. I don't think he should regret it. But for sure, how it's panned out is not how many people expected it. Granted, I will say I don't want to be like I told you so. I did say first 6 months he'll be like this, but the next 6 months I think will be better because second half of the season Hamilton is known for being him, HIM with a capital H. So, Key, you can call me Lewis Hamilton's bitch as well if you want now. But
I think Behrman could Ferrari. I mean, Behrman is a Ferrari driver already. He's a Ferrari reserve driver. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does take the seat. So
yeah, he will when Lewis leaves.
Possibly. Yep. He won the F was it F3 today? F2 F3 today he won.
Hey, King and Ekevin, why am I laughing? Guys, why am I laughing?
Oh God, bro, this guy, man.
King, no, you don't remember?
I do. Let's forget about it anyway. Let's forget about it. Wait, he won the F3, right? He won the F3, right?
Yeah, so next year he'll be in F2.
Right. Yeah, F3. Big up to you, Kat. Big up to you. Don't. Yeah, I won't be surprised.
He's got a while left. And he's Brazilian, so I think he'll definitely make the sport.
No, I think a Brazilian in there would make a massive difference of mixing terms of the drivers from different nationalities. I mean, you hardly have any South Americans.
And we have two on the grid now, right?
You have two, yeah, but adding the Brazilian one would make it more diverse.
Two Brazilians and one Argentinian.
We need Africans as well. We need more Asians. Diverse. We need a proper diverse of culture and what do you call it? Drivers on the grid, man.
Yeah, I mean, if they're deserving of
it. Sorry, were you thinking?
I don't think the Argentinian man's going to be here next season, so.
I don't either, no.
I mean,
yeah, I think if they're deserving of it, by all means, we love different ethnicities and cultures and environments. Let's go. Let's make Formula One a more accessible sport. Right? At the moment, it's very elitist. It's very nepotism oriented. Let's make it a sport that is more equal.
Can I address this comment quickly?
Yes, we both did. So
I don't think he went there for the money. It's hard to say he went there for the money. When a team like Real Madrid come knocking on the door, you're not going to turn them down because it's a massive club. You're not going to turn down. It's a massive club. You're not going to turn down. What do you call? If it's Detroit versus Boston, obviously you go to Boston, right? Come on.
I'm taking yes.
If it's United or fucking, even though United have been one of the worst teams in the past few years, like, come on, you're still not going to turn them down. It's Manchester United, the history, everything that you have behind it. Lewis Hamilton, for him, it's a privilege to be in the Ferrari seat. It's a huge privilege to be in that Ferrari seat. Like, I know he's even called himself out for it. He knows he needs to do better, and I think Lewis Hamilton, he deserves another year, at least one more year for me. to prove that he can help Ferrari be competitive next year. Because I think without Lewis, Ferrari will not be competitive. I'm sorry. I don't think they'll be competitive without Lewis. I think with Ollie Bearman, it'll take more time to be competitive. Whereas with Lewis, they can already be competitive. So add Lewis into the seat next year, they're competitive already. Because you already have an experienced driver there, a 7-time world championship for a reason. And you already have Charles Leclerc ready to be a world champion. So that in itself is a good duo to go and win races next year. So this is where I speak about mentality. This is one thing I also talk about. You need the experience, you need the drivers, you need the mindset, you need the strategy, the engineers. Ferrari need a lot next year if they want to win the championship. Because I don't see them being better than Aston Martin. I don't see them being better than Mercedes at this rate. I don't see them being better than McLaren. They're the fourth best driver out of those. They're the fourth best car out of those teams. If those cars were to get the upgrades, I expect them to. Because McLaren are already up there for me. That's a guarantee. We don't know about Aston Martin for sure, but I reckon at the moment, as things stands, the way they're improving, maybe Aston Martin could be on top. Maybe even Mercedes, if they can get those upgrades that we heard and we've promised that they'll get, they might be better. So Ferrari, a lot of work needs to be done if they want to compete next year. A lot. And I don't even mean the drivers, the whole engineering system, the whole team, the upgrades. They need the money possible. They need to spend it wisely. They need to do everything possible in their power. Take a hit if you have to take a hit. Take a deduction if you have to take a deduction. Do it. For the sake of the team, take the hit. If you want the team to be back on top again, take the hit. And go from there. I say this about every team. If you want to be successful, the first thing is punishment. Suffer with the punishment and overcome that. Because at the same time, the biggest risk is the best reward. That's just my say on this. You need to take the biggest risk to have the best reward.
Yeah, and can I add just real quick?
Of course, go on.
You're 100% right. I'll just say this. I have zero doubt in my mind that Ferrari can build a car that can win races. Like, we've
100%.
shown they can do that. They can build a car that can win races. But the issue is not winning races. It's can you sustain that across a season and win races to win championships? That's the issue. Ferrari can build, but can they operate? Can they orchestrate? Can they produce a beautiful performance across a season? No, I don't think so. That's the difference. But it's like I said, I know Tifosi, you were in the chat when I said this. It's three things, right? It's the philosophy, the competency, and the communication, which I think you can easily do even with the pieces that you have already. And Ekevin, you're 100% right. Ferrari are not going to sack Lewis Hamilton. Even if he is saying it, they're not going to do it.
You can't sack a 7-time world champion.
I mean, no, you definitely can if it was really, really bad.
It would not be logical to do so.
But yeah, and as you said, Ekevin, if anyone during uncertain circumstances you want to be wielding your car, it's the guy who's won more times than anybody else in Formula One history. It's not. So you don't sack him. So yeah, I think with Ferrari, it's just you can do it. Ferrari can easily win the championship next year. I believe that they will have the car. It's just whether they can operate that car or not. That's it. That's really it. And apart from that, until the end of this season, the priority should be making sure those upgrades are substantiated, they're solidified, they are cemented, and they're consolidated. And then Lewis Hamilton regains rhythm mentally and materially with the machine. And with Charles Leclerc, just making sure that, hey, he has no doubt. Because as a driver heading into next season, all those fine margins, those subconscious intrusive thoughts, all of that get to you. Those small things can be the reason why you win and lose, right? The reason Lando Norris is not first in this championship is because of those. It's because of that vulnerability mentally. You just need to make sure your drivers, Ekevin, are 110% committed to the project. They're 110% not just committed, but they are confident. They're not confident. They are certain. They are certain that Ferrari and Fred Vasseur can provide for the team, cannot just provide, but protect, provide, and prosper.
Apologies about that. I think my internet went away.
Yeah, so that is the aim. Ferrari just need to protect, provide, and prosper. The drivers have to be committed and certain that they can trust the team and the team can trust them. That's the aim, Ekevin. That's my aim till the end of the season. And then next season, we are ready to win a championship.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be. It just has to be trust. Solidify that trust. Make it second nature. And just show the team that, hey, we can sustain it. And we won't choke, push come to shove. We'll conquer. We'll choke you. We'll choke slam you. It's SummerSlam day today. We'll put you in a choke slam. Bang.
Lay a foundation. Make it the norm that Ferrari are competitive and winning. Make it the norm, because it's not been the norm over the years. It's just been, oh wow, Ferrari won a race. Whoop-de-doo. And then it's just they go away and then they come back. They go away and then they come back. They need to be a consistent winning team. And to do that, a lot needs to happen. And this is why I go back to my point. Sometimes the biggest risk is the best reward. Take the hit if you need to. A financial hit, a deduction, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to win, do it. As long as you're up there winning and competing, that's what all I want from Ferrari and all my teams that are competing. Leonardo Ronaldo won F3 and is leading F2. He won't make F1 because it's not a popular name. I wouldn't say it's the name. I'd say it's more of quality of the driver. Forget the name. You can't. It's hard to say he won't make because it's not a popular name. It's more quality of the driver than it is.
No,
honestly,
can I talk about that point?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can just 30 seconds key. Actually, I disagree with you. Just on a name standpoint, I think that name is the most motorsport racing name I've ever heard. Leonardo Ronaldo, like, dude, that is motorsport from the beginning, man. I'm sorry, that is like a driver's name.
The way you say it is. It sounds more like an olden generation sort of name. You know what I mean?
Just as the elegance, the pizzazz, the panache. Sorry, King. With you.
Facts. Go on, King. Go on.
When it comes to F2, F3 drivers, there's multiple factors. Whether they make it in the sport or not first, what driver academy are they associated with? So, for example, Drogovic was associated with Aston Martin driver academy, but he can't get a seat. Why? Because they're not going to get rid of Lance Stroll, even though he's rubbish. And obviously they have Fernando Alonso, who's a seasoned veteran. So there's no seat there. So one is the driver academy you're part of. So if there's seats within that driver academy, so for example, if you're a Mercedes driver, is there a Mercedes-based engine seat available? They'll try to get you a seat. If not, you can't really go anywhere else. Same with Red Bull, same with Aston Martin, same with Ferrari. They have to have the engine provider or be a part of that associated team in order for you to drive to them. Same with McLaren. So you could be a great driver, win all the championships, but if you don't have the seat available, that's not going to happen. Second thing is the money you bring in. You need financial backing. You need to be able to bring in sponsors. In the end of the day, Formula One's a money game. Everyone, there's been times where people have been in it just based on the money they bring in, such as Sergio Perez with Carlos Slim, such as Yuki was a money thing because of Honda. So he brings in the Japanese audience, and Honda, well, with Red Bull, that makes sense there. So there's all different factors, that reasons why certain drivers don't make it to the sport. And a lot of the time it's not because of skill level, it's because of outside factors. And that's the problem with Formula One. It's not the best 20 drivers on the grid. It's the biggest names, the ones that bring the most money, the most sponsors. Because there's a bunch of guys on that grid that don't deserve to be there, Lance Stroll included, because of one reason or another, whether your father owns the team, whether you bring them money, whether you have different factors that allow you to stay within the sport. And then it's just about, when do seats become available? Next season there'll be 22 seats, so there's 2 more opportunities. But if Cadillac are coming into the sport, for sure they're going to want an American guy. For sure they want someone with experience. That's probably the 2 factors they look at. They'll bring in an experienced ex-Formula One guy like Sergio Perez or Bottas, and they'll bring in a inexperienced American, because that's probably a part of their brand or culture. They want an American driver that, can let an American.
They're bringing one next year, I think, apparently, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's an American. I think there's an American F2 that looks likely. So a lot of the times, like, the F2 winner not always goes into F1.
I think it's frozen there.
So, yeah, it's not. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're good.
Yeah, so it's not driver quality, because if it was driver quality, then eventually drivers who didn't make it to the standard would get kicked out of the sport straight away. But because they bring in money and other factors, that keeps them in the sport. So yeah, a lot of the times the drivers that are in the sport shouldn't be there for a myriad of reasons. For me personally, I'd be a lot more strict. I would give drivers maybe 4 or 5 seasons and then decide whether they should stay or not, and allow for new drivers to come in. But, you know, if you got money backing you, if your dad was a former driver, that helps as well. Mick Schumacher got a spot off of that. So yeah, it's not just name, it's the outside things that are with the sport that allow you. And that's why it makes Lewis Hamilton so special, is because he didn't have any of those things and made it and become one of the greatest. So like Max, for example, his dad was a former Formula One driver, so your name gets you into the door, gets you into the academy, gets you into the Red Bull Academy, which is one of the best. And because you've got the pace plus the academy plus everything else, you get into the sport quicker than other youngsters. And I'll say this: it's not always the fastest drivers in F2 that make it to the next level. Sometimes the guys who finish third, fourth, fifth, or even sixth, seventh get into the sport ahead of the guy who wins the championship. So F2 championship is not you're gonna make it to F1. No.
Yeah, agreed.
More time than not, it doesn't happen.
Agreed. You need to prove yourself consistently that you can make it to F1. It's not as if you win 1 year and he's going to F1. No,
sorry, it's not about proving. It's not about proving. It's the other stuff. It's a money thing more of the time, because there's guys that are worse than the F2 winner, but they have money back in them.
Yeah, can I just double down real quick? Key and King.
Sure.
The KKs. Okay, that's not a good idea. I'm not going to say KKs. It didn't mean that, and that wouldn't make sense, obviously, logically. But both of you're cooking. I don't want to get all authentic world analysis on you guys. Which, speaking of authentic world analysis, Akevin, can I shamelessly plug?
Go on.
King, do you want to do the honors, actually?
Oh, yeah. Rumble, not kick. Authentic world analysis. I don't know when the next show will be, but we have shows on there, so go check it out. Everything politics.
Yeah, the reason I mention it is because on Rumble we basically break down what is going on in the world, provide updates and analysis on current events, and also show who rules the world, what are the power dynamics, the concentration of control. It ties into everything we're saying. Key, you mentioned F1 is all about money in the chat. You're 100% correct, but that's life. That's just life, right? F1 is almost a good archetype and caricature of how life is, right? Cash is king. And it's not just cash that's king, it's connection, right? Knowing people in the sport. Even Lewis Hamilton king, as much as Lewis Hamilton is that rags to riches story, he is the outlier. He's the exception that doesn't define the rule. He's the exceptional one. If he didn't meet Ron Dennis, he would have never been in Formula One. So that's just unfortunate. Formula One is so inaccessible. That's why when I said a few minutes ago, it needs to be accessible, right? Ekevin, you talked about diversity of ethnicity and environment. Preach. But we need to do it in a way where we balance quality, but also accessibility as well. So that's what they need to do. And 100%, I mean, Formula One is very closed. It's an exclusive club. But nowadays, because reach is expanding, I do have hope that people from all walks of life can participate in. But we just need to move towards that and make that abundantly apparent.
Leonardo Fernaldi won F3 in the second year with the same Gabby is leading F2 with the same team Gabby did. Only difference is Gabby won both series in his rookie season. There's so many drivers in F2 who should be in F1 but won't do the seat. Possible. Who remembers this guy?
I remember him, yeah.
Need more.
He was meant to be somebody, but he was a British driver. He was meant to be somebody, but things happened and he didn't make it.
You want to elaborate? Or is it a bit too personal to do that?
It's going to be too long. I'm going to lie. It might be a while.
No worries. Yeah, I agree with King. I understand all the factors, but Felipe won F2 in his third year. I don't think he deserves to be in F1 regardless. Well, we'll see. We'll see. F1 is all about money. I wouldn't say so. No, not always about the money. It's not always about the money. It's more to do with fame and popularity as well. obviously the money it plays a huge factor in that, but it's not always about the money. It's about everything around it. But yeah, it's a lot of things combined. But yeah, one driver who should have been in F1 is Robert Schwartzman instead of Mick. You think so?
Yeah, he was cold.
Mick won
He should have
F3.
been, but Mick, I think Mick deserved the chance as well.
Everyone knew he wasn't the guy in the second season. But everyone knew the guy. I mean, you could. It's like a football academy player coming through the ranks. You know, they impress you in the academy. But once they go to the first team, they don't impress. All of a sudden, you'll be looking to sell the guy. So you're right. You can't just say F2 and F3 they impress, but they don't impress in F1, which is the first team. Then they're in trouble. Then they're pretty much in trouble. That's what I have to say about that. F2
Yeah,
doesn't
Mick was a name because the Schumacher name held weight.
Sorry. Go on. It's okay. Go on, bro. It's okay.
No, with the Mick because the Schumacher name held weight. Obviously, you know Michael, he had this history, so a lot of people knew Michael. So and obviously because of his situation, you know, when he went, you know, under, he's in a coma. I still think he is. So I feel like they felt for Mick, you know, give him an opportunity. It didn't work out.
I think on
Big up
Mick,
to Lumen and his first account.
you can never rule out him coming back to Formula One. So I'll just say that.
And his 1 brilliant account. Sorry, go on.
Preach, big up. The work rate there is nuts. Second best work rate third best work rate to these two over here, King and Ekevin, popping out those streams. But yeah, on Mick, I wouldn't rule him out for sure coming back to Formula One. You never know. I mean, chances can come, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. On Michael Schumacher, you mentioned, King, that what he's doing. Actually, I think there have been reports recently saying that Schumacher is able to understand what's going on, I think, and his closest inner circle goes to visit him, but obviously he can't, talk and engage in conversation. But I think he does know what's going on. He is out of a coma. He is at home with his wife and with his kids, I think. So it's good. It's good to know, right, Activate? It's great to see that Michael Schumacher is, there and involved and with the family to some extent.
Yes.
Beautiful. And one could just wonder, if Michael Schumacher was like fully present today, I don't think Ferrari would be where they were. Like, I really believe it, Akevin. If Schumacher was here, I think Ferrari would be the top team. Even
Agreed.
Today.
Agreed. 100%. The mentality is there. The quality of the driver is there. Everything you have with everything.
I would say with Schumacher, he was I think, to my opinion here, he's the hardest working Formula One driver ever. Or one of the most demanding Formula One drivers ever. Lewis up there too.
Bro, I gotta say, he won a race with 5 pit stops. 5 pit stops.
But even then, take that away. Like, I think Schumacher's obviously one of the best drivers ever, but I don't think instinctively he's as good as a Senna. Let's say, like, from what I've seen and what I continue to see, I would still take a Senna above him just as a pure talent. But I think with Schumacher, it was the technical ability, right? It was the ability to understand what was going on, how to improve it, the work ethic, the commitment. That's what separates him from almost anybody else. So kudos to Michael Schumacher. And I hope everything, prayers, thoughts and prayers with the family, because Schumacher is really a legend that has stood the test of time.
F2 doesn't mean you have the chance to be in F1. There's Formula E and IndyCar. Zane Maloney left F2 in the middle of the season to join Formula E. Okay.
But at the same time, it's like Formula One's the pinnacle of motorsport, right? You want to be.
It is, you're right. Are we what? Sorry? Want to be what?
It's the top of motorsport. You want to be there.
To
be there.
Mazepin finished 5th in F2 and got to F1, but we all know why. Haas was in trouble and Mazepin's dad saved them. Bro, it's only right to bring his son in then. Most drivers know why they are. Most drivers that know they aren't getting to F. They're just hoping to keep their motorsport career alive. Hence why Richard Verschoor is still in F2 in his 5th season. Fair enough. But guys, we're 3 subs away from 380 subs. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and make sure you guys go sub to King as well. I will put the link in the description because obviously I can't put it in the title. I'll add them in the description. But King, hope you're enjoying your holidays, man, and hope you obviously take
Thank you, thank you.
take the time off that you need to, man, because obviously it's a good time with your family and everything, So big up to you, and I hope you're enjoying Greece, and the content will definitely get to where we need to be. How many subs you on right now, bro? How many subs you on?
I think 83 at the moment, but I don't mind over the next 2 weeks. I don't mind over the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna chill. If I can be in the show, I'll jump in. But yeah, I don't know how much stuff I'm do.
Go stop to King's channel. Literally, guys, he's almost at 100 subs.
Thank you, Kai.
If you guys could go sub, that'd be fantastic. Do you guys have DC or something? What does that mean?
Yeah, Discord.
Oh yes, I do.
We do have Discord. Yeah, actually, Ekavin, you should have a Discord channel.
Nah, not let's do that one yet. Not let's do that one yet. No, not yet. I need to build a larger audience.
Sure, but that's a good idea. Thank you, Taposi. We do have.
I'll consider. Yeah, Kai says yeah. Hope you have a nice holiday. And and big up for the sub. I don't know if it's Lumen. I don't know if it's Lumen again, but if it is you, big up to you again, bro. Big up to you again.
And if it isn't Lumen, big up to you even more. I'm kidding.
Big up to you. Yep. But guys, 3 subs away from 380 subs. King is 17 subs away from 100 subs. If you guys could go and sub to his channel, link is in the description. That'd be fantastic. I guess we'll probably get his channel back up very, very soon if possible. As for my channel, like it says on the screen right here, 3 away from 380, and you guys keep slapping the likes. We're 4 likes away from 15 likes. We're 9 likes away from 20 likes. The goal was 20 likes, but if you guys get 15 likes, it'd be fantastic as well. Where do I join you guys? Just leave your just leave your in the chat. I'll definitely I'll add you, and then I'll bring you on the show.
You can follow. I mean, you can follow me on IG if you want.
Yeah.
My IG is 28_AAB. So 28_AAB. You follow me and we can talk, and hopefully you can join one of these streams, Tifosi. No pressure, obviously. And anyone as well.
Yeah. Here you go, Kai. Oh no, on IG. Okay, never mind. Then we'll sort something out soon. But King does have to bounce, so make sure you guys go and follow King's channel, sub to my channel. We're so close to 380 subs. Three more away. You guys keep on subbing, that'd be fantastic. And yeah, keep slapping likes. I leave your comments below. We're out, people. Take care. Like, share, subscribe. Ferrari, fucking do one. Peace. We're out. Take care.